wife, who always hated carrying a key, had the smart lock on our front door replaced with an old-fashioned deadbolt. She even started locking the bathroom door when she showered. Now I have to call her every time I come home, just so she'll let me in. I couldn't live with that kind of humiliation. At the next family dinner, I slid a stack of divorce papers onto the table. Everyone thought I was just drunk and joking. Then my wife, Ruby, slapped me hard across the face, her eyes blazing. "Is it so hard to call first? You promised you'd respect me forever." I looked at her, my face a cold mask, and let out a short, bitter laugh. "If I leave you for good, isn't that the ultimate sign of respect?" "Shut up, James. If I hadn't gotten postpartum depression after our daughter was born, I wouldn't be so insecure. This reason for divorce is insane. I won't accept it." Ruby jabbed a finger at my face, her eyes turning red. I didn't even bother to look at her. I closed my briefcase with a snap. "Sign them. Don't make me force you." I grabbed my things and stood to leave. The entire family stared, caught between Ruby's trembling form and my cold, resolute back. I could hear their whispers, wondering how the man who once put Ruby before everything else could suddenly demand a divorce over something so trivial. Ruby froze for a second, then reached out to grab me. Her father started to rise from his chair, but before I could take a step, Ruby's psychiatrist, Dr. Collins, pushed me back down into my seat. "Mr. Vance, your wife is suffering from severe postpartum depression. She has extreme insecurity," he said, his voice dripping with condescension. "She only locks the door to feel safe. How can you, her husband, be so callous? It's your constant antagonism that's making her condition worse." My in-laws immediately sided with him. "Dr. Collins is right. He's just in a bad mood and taking it out on his wife. For a man who married into this family, he's got a hell of an attitude. If it wasn't for Ruby loving him, he'd be nothing today." Ruby shot them a look that silenced them, then turned her gaze to me, her voice softening into a fragile, pleading tone. "Honey, I'm so sorry. I know my illness has been hard on you. You never used to raise your voice at me. For the sake of the 10 years we've loved each other, please, just calm down. Is it your mother's medical bills again? Don't be afraid to ask. Your mom is my family too." Watching Ruby humble herself to coax me, the relatives clucked in admiration, but their glares at me grew sharper. "James, for a woman as sick as Ruby to treat you this well, you should be grateful," one of them said. "Have we ever not taken care of your mother's needs? Just tell us how much you need. We'll figure it out," Ruby's father added, leaning on his cane. I knew what they were thinking, that I was too proud to ask the Ashwood family for more money, so I was resorting to this ridiculous drama. I met Ruby's eyes as she reached for my hand. I pulled away. "The feeling is gone," I said, my voice flat. "Let's end this." A dead silence fell over the room. Ruby threw her arms around me, her voice breaking into a sob. "James, don't lie to me." I pushed her off, taking 2 steps back. "It's the truth. Let's stop here. Try to keep some dignity." Ruby stood there, stunned. In the corner, our daughter started wailing from her stroller. Ignoring everyone, I turned to leave again. Crash. A water glass shattered on the floor in front of me. Dr. Collins had thrown it. He lunged forward, slamming the divorce papers against my chest, his finger pointing at my face as he spat. "James, are you even a man? Ruby gave up a scholarship to study abroad to marry you. She loves you so much. Is this how you repay her? Now that she's sick, you're just going to abandon her and your daughter? You ungrateful bastard." I looked at the psychiatrist, who was practically vibrating with rage, and found it all amusing. "Dr. Collins, this is a matter between my wife and me. It has nothing to do with you, does it?" Spittle flew from his lips as he grabbed my collar. "She is still your wife. You have no idea how good you have it. Do you have any clue how much of the Ashwoods' money you've burned through for that dying mother of yours? If Ruby hadn't taken pity on you, if she didn't love you, your mother would have been dead and buried years ago, you worthless bum." I kicked him hard in the stomach, sending him stumbling backward. "Get lost. A family dinner is no place for a shrink to play hero." Ruby shoved me aside and scrambled to help Dr. Collins. "James, why are you taking it out on him? He's innocent. He's a piece of trash who needs to learn to watch his mouth," I snarled, glancing at the 2 of them on the floor, their dynamic making my resolve even harder. The chorus of insults from the relatives grew louder, a wave of condemnation washing over me, erasing 10 years of my life and my dedication. They called me a leech, saying Ruby had suffered endlessly by marrying me. Dr. Collins patted Ruby's hand. "It's okay, Ruby. It's my fault. As an outsider, I shouldn't have judged Mr. Vance. Don't get upset. You'll make yourself sick." He shook his head, his voice full of feigned regret. "How could it be your fault?" Ruby's eyes were overflowing with sympathy for him. She looked up at me, her voice choked with tears. "Honey, do you really want to humiliate everyone like this? You know I love you. All our family is here today. Can't you just give me this one thing? Let's go home and talk." Her tears fell, splashing onto Dr. Collins's chest. I almost laughed. She only cried harder. The relatives rushed to comfort her, her performance painting me as the villain of the century. "James, you've taken good care of Ruby all these years. I've seen your hard work, and how you care for your mother. Just be honest with us. What really happened? If it's our family's fault, we won't deny it." Ruby's father limped over, trying to reason with me, but I wasn't having it. My face was granite. "This marriage is over." Her father choked, his face turning beet red. Ruby scrambled up from the floor and grabbed my arm, begging, "Honey, please don't go." When I didn't move, she screamed, "You must be cheating on me." I just looked at her, saying nothing. The sharp rap of a cane hit the floor. Her father's voice was a low growl. "James Vance, everything you have, every piece of clothing on your back, came from this family, and you still have a sick mother to support. You can either be a good husband, or you can leave with nothing but the clothes on your back. The choice is yours. I suggest you think very carefully. You have 2 days." It was supposed to be a terrifying threat. The faces around me were hungry for my surrender. I ripped my arm from Ruby's grasp, and walked out the door. As soon as I got in my car, a file was handed to me from the passenger seat. "This report should be more than enough." My childhood friend, Maya, tilted her head toward the conclusive results. "Thanks for your hard work. And don't forget," I added, "the big gift we have for Ruby tomorrow." I let out a long breath, and opened the video Maya had just sent me. Every day, just before I was scheduled to get home from work, a figure would slip out of my front door. Then, as a final act of defiance, he'd taunt the security camera, dangling a different pair of lace panties each time. 2 days was too long. I wanted to send them all to hell as fast as possible. When I went to pay for dinner, the server informed me my card had been declined. For years, the Ashwoods had controlled every cent I spent. They claimed it was to stop me from making risky investments. But really, it was to ensure the man who married their daughter never gained any real power. Ruby was the one who transferred money to my account each month. If she was in a good mood, I got a little extra. If she wasn't, I got nothing. Since she changed the locks, the account had been empty. The next morning, I drove back to the house to pack my things. Before I even entered the gated community, a group of neighborhood women started pointing at me. Isn't that the Ashwood's son-in-law? I heard he found a richer mistress and is abandoning his wife and baby. What a white trash freeloader. And that poor Ruby. She's been sick ever since the baby was born, and now she has to deal with this. It's a disgrace. They spat sunflower seed shells in my direction, their voices sharp and loud enough for the whole street to hear. I started to turn, to defend myself. Honey! A Porsche pulled up beside me, and Ruby's sweet voice drifted from inside. I knew you'd be back. I just bought you a new tie. Come home and see it. My face was a blank mask as I got into the back seat. I glanced at the designer label on the tie box and tossed it out the window. Ruby's mouth opened, but no words came out. Hey, that must have cost a fortune. He just threw it away? The women outside scrambled toward the car to grab it. Drive, I said, nodding toward the underground garage. She suppressed her anger and followed me to our front door. When she opened it, Dr. Collins was in the living room, gently rocking our daughter's cradle. Ruby's eyes widened in shock. She struggled to compose herself, her voice stuttering. Dr. Collins was scheduled to come by for my therapy session. I ignored them and walked straight to the bedroom. I was only here for one thing, the family heirloom bracelet my mother had asked me to give to my wife. Ruby no longer deserved it. Before I could step inside, Dr. Collins pushed the cradle in front of me, blocking my path with a self-satisfied smile. James, it's good that you came home. A child so young needs her father. Come and see your daughter. He tried to pull me toward the cradle. I shook him off. He grabbed me again. My patience snapped. I shoved him away, my voice filled with disgust. Get lost. I went into the bedroom, opened the nightstand drawer, and took out the bracelet box. Dr. Collins followed me, lunging for the box, but I was too quick for him. This belongs to my family. You think you're worthy of touching it? I pushed him hard. He stumbled back. Suddenly, the room was filled with a loud crash and the sound of a baby screaming. Dr. Collins was on the floor next to the overturned cradle. Ruby ran in, saw the scene, and immediately started screaming at me. James, if anything happens to my daughter, I will destroy you. She snatched up the baby, frantically checking her for injuries. Ruby, it was all my fault. Dr. Collins whimpered from the floor. I just thought the baby missed her daddy, but James didn't care at all. He just pushed us away. While I was distracted, Ruby lunged, ripped the jewelry box from my hand, and slammed it on the floor with all her might, her eyes bloodshot. For this piece of junk, you'd hurt your own flesh and blood? My mind went blank, focused only on the bracelet. Thankfully, the box was sturdy. The heirloom was unharmed. Dr. Collins yelled from behind me, "You're a monster! Your daughter gets hurt, and all you care about is a stupid bracelet? Is it more important than her life?" Ruby righted the cradle, her eyes swimming with tears as she stared at me. James, you better pray that she's okay. Take your trash and get out of my house, and never come back. After the court hearing tomorrow, not only will you leave with nothing, but I'll make sure you lose everything and everyone you care about. Get out! She shrieked like a madwoman, throwing whatever she could grab. I just protected the box and walked out of that toxic hellhole. I wasn't even out of the neighborhood when Maya called, telling me to check the trending topics online. A tidal wave of hate crashed over me. I was a money-grubbing scumbag, a leech who could only survive by clinging to rich women, a misogynist who valued a non-existent male heir over his own daughter. Countless accusations were piled on me, illustrated with AI-generated images that made them look horrifyingly real. Scrub everything about my mother. For the rest of it, file lawsuits, I told Maya, and hung up, letting the storm rage. After lunch, I announced I would be holding a live stream that afternoon. Ruby called me over 100 times. I didn't answer. Finally, she showed up outside Maya's apartment building with a banner and a bullhorn. The noise was deafening. James, the entire internet hates you right now. Going live won't help. If you just apologize and come to your senses, I'm willing to give you another chance. I watched her from behind the floor-to-ceiling window, my face impassive. Dr. Collins took the bullhorn. Ruby is willing to forgive you. Why are you making this so hard on yourself? This live stream will only make things worse. Just admit you're wrong, and your mother might still have a chance. Ruby's father was there too, sitting under a patio umbrella. His voice was a low rumble. James, don't be so impulsive. What man in his right mind divorces his wife because she changed the locks on the door? Their words were supposed to sound like advice, but they felt like threats. I watched the second hand on the clock complete its final sweep. The live stream started. As expected, the comments were a waterfall of insults. Not to be outdone, Ruby started her own stream using her company's account and requested to join mine. The screen split in two. James, since you refuse to see reason, don't blame me for what comes next. On her side of the screen, she displayed my credit card statements from exclusive private clubs and a series of sordid, fabricated chat logs. Wow, he really is trash. So dirty. Poor Ruby. I support the divorce. I'm a lawyer, and I can tell you this scumbag is leaving with nothing. So, what do you think? Let's let the public be the judge today, Ruby said, smugly fanning herself behind a pair of oversized sunglasses. I gave a cold, humorless laugh, turned up the AC, and said calmly, 891. At that, Ruby froze. She quickly resumed fanning herself, faster this time. Don't start quoting legal statutes. You don't know any. Is it a legal statute, Ruby? Beside me, Maya couldn't hold back a snort of laughter. It was time to unwrap the gift.